We are discussing economy, right? ನೀವು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರಾ? ನಾನು ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ವೀಕ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ. ನಿಮ್ದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮುಗೀತಾ? ಇನ್ನು ಫ್ರೀ ಓದ್ಬೋದು, ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. We are discussing economy. In that, what we discussed already yesterday. Huh? Okay, next. Okay. 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 Then gross. Okay, huh? Okay. 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 Next. Then the different formulas, right? ನೆನಪಾಗ್ತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾಗಳು, ಅಥವಾ ಏನಾದರೂ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಉಂಟಾ? What is this? Creative destruction means what? Something destructing something creative. ಏನನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಈ ವರ್ಡ್ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ? Creative destructions. It's in economy. Positive. Positive distractions. New distractions. Distractions for what? Distractions for what? A standard of the economy. Okay. What kind of distractions for the economy? See, today, if you look at metropolitan cities like Bangalore, there is no space for car parking. And if you park your car out of your compound wall, means they will tow. The police come and they will tow their car. So, you will get Ola for very easy. Ola, Uber, and rest of the rent cars in a single finger tip. Like one touch ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಮನೆಗೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? So how it this kind of culture, one is there is no space for parking a car, another one is very easy access of a rented car. So this is a new structure of economy. How this structure affected a car manufacturing company? Is this kind of new culture or new creativity, is it good for the manufacturing company, car manufacturing company? No. These new circumstances which affecting the car manufacturing companies, right? Or it is entertaining, or it is like a positive move? No, it is a negative thing for the manufacturing company. And what is this Ola and cab? It's a gig economy, right? So gig economy is kind of creative economy only. But entirely depending on gig economy, in initial note it looks like a good for the economy, but in a long term it is bad for the entire structure of the economy. That itself is called creative destruction. It is a creative only. The gig economy is creative only. That car is just an example. It is all about gig economy. Gig economy is creative only. But in a long note, in a longer run, it disturbs the structure of the economy. Okay. That is the example. Have this definition and write that example. This is creative destruction. Listen, listen. This is creative destruction. Creative destruction means ಇವಾಗ ಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋ ಬದಲು ಕ್ಯಾಬ್ ಅಥವಾ ಓಲಾ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಕ್ಯಾಬ್ ಮತ್ತು ಓಲಾ ಗಿಗ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಗಿಗ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಕಾರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಪನಿಯವರಿಗೆ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಒಂಥರ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟಿವಿಟಿ. ಗಿಗ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಇಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟಿವ್, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟಿವ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್. ಅದೊಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಹಾಕಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅನ್ಸಿದ್ದು ಒಂದು ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Or take some notes regarding investment model. Okay, take heading as the investment model. Investment model. The term investment is different for economists and rest of the world. The term investment is different for economists and rest of the world. The purchase of assets like stocks, the purchase of assets like stock, mutual funds, the purchase of assets, stock, STOCK, stocks, stock market, stocks, mutual funds, the purchase of assets like stocks, mutual funds, and insurance products. Insurance products are not investment for economists. Underline. Are not investment for economists. Underline. As they do not add to net wealth of the country. As they do not add to net wealth of the country. Rather they reflect a credit relationship between the two parties. They reflect a credit relationship between the two parties. You understood, right? Like these are the things is not an investment. It's a something, a transaction between two different parties. Okay. Next, financial assets of one party in the economy. The financial asset of one party in the economy can be offset by financial liability of another party. Can be offset. It's disturbed by financial liability of another party. By financial liability of another party. Full stop. This when we aggregate the wealth of all members of economy. This when we aggregate the wealth of all members of economy. This when we aggregate all the wealth of the members of economy, or the wealth of all members of economy, these assets and liabilities cancelled and there is no creation of new assets, and there is no creation of new assets within bracket, right? Any investment that adds to the societal value within bracket, any investment that adds to the societal value of the country is called real investment. It's called real investment. Close the bracket. In the expenditure side, competition of national income, GDP is represented by investment in everything that remains after consumption and government spending. That remains after consumption and government spending. Take heading as a types of investment. This we discussed actually, like induced investment, autonomous investment. Take heading, induced investment. It is the investment which is governed by induced investment, first one, INDUCD, induced investment. It is the investment which is governed by income or amount of profit. Amount of profit, income or amount of profit. The inducing, which is induced by, it is the investment which is governed by or decided by or induced by, whatever, by income or amount of profit. The inducing factors are changes in income and profit, The graph shows that the low level of income just put at before the low level. At the low level of income, the induced investment may be negative also. Underline that. At the low level of the income, the induced investment may be negative also. May be negative also. Underline that. What is induced investment may be negative? Investment in a negative term, disinvestment anta artha. Okay. Next, autonomous investment. Next one, right? Autonomous investment. It is independent of all level of income or profit. It is independent of all level of income or profit. See, the elder idra nanu idu madta ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದು. ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇಟ್. ಲೈಕ್ ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದು ನೆನಪಾಗ್ತಾ ಉಂಟಾ? ಇಂಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ನೋ ಸಿ autonomous means irrespective of the profit or loss, the investment would be in a similar line. If you consider this as a profit, this as an investment is similar. Okay, this is autonomous. Induced means looking at the profit, the investment is going to increase. If the less investment, less profit, less investment. More profit, more investment. Like that. In notes all ಇದೆ, don't worry. It is independent of level of income or profit. Autonomous investment. It is independent of level of income or profit. They are made. It is independent of level of income or profit. They are made with an aim of introducing new technique. They are made with an aim of introducing new technology, and enhance the level of demand driving. And enhance the level of demand during the period of depreciation or unemployment crisis. During the period of, you can say, depression and unemployment crisis. Means something economy was not healthy at that time. Okay. Next line, right? Investment can also be divided based on ownership. Based on ownership. What are the two kinds of investment based on ownership? Public and private investment. Private means, why private investment? What is the motive for the private investment? What is the motive for private investment? Just to get a profit, gain profit. Okay, there is no social schemes, nothing. This is for earning profit. The objective of the private investment is to earning the profit. The public investment, it is made by the government normally for the welfare, like social welfare, maybe for the security purpose, maybe defense, and sometimes for the development, sometimes for the infrastructure of the country. So it is normally done by the government. What are the factors which affects the investments? Take heading, the factors affects the investment. First factor is government policy. Okay. It plays an important role. It plays an important role in attracting investments. Fiscal policy of the government with respect to taxation. Fiscal policy of the government with respect to taxation. Fiscal, okay. Don't write physical and all. Fiscal. FISC. Fiscal policy of the government with respect to taxation and government expenditure attracts investment. Full stop. Attracts investment. Full stop. Higher taxes reduce the profits. Higher taxes reduce the profit and lowers the investment. Underline. Reduce the profits and lowers the investment. Underline. Higher tax also underline. Full stop. Similarly, when government initiates new projects and spends huge funds on them, when government initiates new projects or huge projects and spends huge funds on those projects or on them, whatever, investment increases. Full stop. And the next line, right? Monetary policy of RBI, underline monetary policy. Monetary policy of RBI also encourages investments. How it encourages, everything we discussed already. Okay. Investment, increases investment. That is expansionary policy or the cheap credit policy. So in banking agila alva. Don't worry, discussing banking will do. Because it expansionary policy or cheap credit policy. That is expansionary policy or the cheap credit policy. These are the different policies of the RBI for the monetary inflow or monetary expansion. Okay. That is expansionary policy or the cheap credit policy increases the investment. underlying expansionary policy or cheap rate policy increases investment. Okay. Next, foreign trade. This is also factors which, this is also one of the factors which affects investment. One is government policy, right? Another thing is foreign trade. Government free trade attitude or better ranks in doing business index. Government free trade attitudes and better ranks in the doing business index. Who going to release ease of doing business index every year? Ease of doing business index is an international index which is released by World Bank. Okay, better ranks in the doing business index will definitely have favorable effects on investment. Will definitely have favorable effects on investments. First. Next, another factor, business expectations. Right? A favorable business expectation induces investments. A favorable business expectations induces investments. Next factor which affects investment is currency convertibility. See, while discussing capital outflow and all, like I discussed this one, right? Currency convertibility in your class, in weekend class, currency convertibility? No? Currency convertibility? Yes, right? And then tell me what is that? Partially convertible, fully convertible, current account, capital account done, right? Then definitely I completed that. During balance of payment, current account, capital account, our current account is fully convertible, but our capital account is partially convertible. Then you'll understand, right? Convertibility of currency, this is another factor which is responsible for our investment. Today, India, take heading convertibility of currency. Today, India practicing partial convertibility with respect to capital account and fully convertible in current account that induces investments. Like, don't write that induces investment. Fully convertible in current account and the new policies which is focusing towards making capital account also towards fully convertible may attract more investment in brother. What is the last thing where you stop? Please, ಹೇಳಿ ನನಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿ ವೇರೆ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಫುಲ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಲ್ಸಿದ್ರಿ ಹೇಳಿ ಸಿ ಟುಡೇ capital account is partially convertible and current account is fully convertible and our government policies which is moving towards the government policies which is trying to make our capital account is also fully convertible which may attract our investment. This is next another factor which affecting investment is rate of population growth. Next thing, this is the fifth point, right? Rate of population growth. I discussed demographic dividend and demographic disaster one day, right? More population will need new facilities. More population will need new facilities like housing, roads, public services. Housing, road, public services, and consumer goods. Therefore, it creates huge demand in the economy. Automatically, investment increases. Rapid population growth also increases supply of labor. That is positive demographic dividend. Underline. Results. Positive demographic dividend, that you know, right? That day I discussed it. I give example of Pakistan, India, I guess, right? Demographic disaster and demographic dividend. Results: fall in wages, further increasing profit expectations and investments. See, when there is a more supply, there is less demand. Means when there is a huge population, less wages. So foreigners coming to invest in India because their motive is to extract the human resources with less minimum labor wages. Right? See, if you look at on textile industry, consider textile industry that requires huge human resources, means huge employees. And the person is in USA and he want to invest in a textile industry, and there is two options in front of him. One is Australia and another one is India. If he go to Australia, the population itself is very less and the youth population is too less. Australia is a world country or world continent itself. If you look at India, the population is too high, too huge. So he get a labor with less minimum wages. So where he will go? India, they'll come to India, right? So this is the strategy. So population or demography also one of the factor which affects investment. Okay, just connecting the things. Next, technology advancement. Same, the factor affecting the investment. Next part, technology advancement. Means it influences the investments. When the technology we are forward, automatically the investors come and they will invest. Technologically advanced country means that is investment attractive country. It influences the investment issues, right? Then in the last, right, like macroeconomic components that also induces investments. Macroeconomic indicators, like what are the macroeconomic indicators? Like the economic inflation, economic growth, these are all affects our investments. If the inflation is too high, hyperinflation is there in the society, nobody come to invest in India. Okay. Or if there is a deflation, then nobody come to invest in India. Like that, the macroeconomic indicator also affect the investments. Okay, they are all having direct impact on investment, macroeconomic components. Okay. And China model of growth, everything we discussed it, right? Enough. Take heading as a Lewis model. See, there are different kinds of models, and there are different economies. They give different kinds of models for the economy. Like how should be the market or how should be the economic structure of particular country and that. Let us discuss that. First one is Lewis model. Lewis model. ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನು ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಮೈನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೋದು. ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಏನೂ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆನ್ಸರಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಮಾಡಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅಡಿಷನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಲೆವಿಸ್ ಟೂ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಥಿಯರಿ. Two sector theory. He assumed two sector, one is basic subsistence and another one is modern. Two sector. Basic subsistence and another one is modern. Basic subsistence and another one is modern. He assumed two sectors. Basic subsistence means agriculture and other domestic working, those kind of sectors. Modern means manufacturing, industry, these kind of sectors. Okay, right. He said every economy which is developing, Lewis is a person, okay. He said every economy which is developing, initially most of the people depend on subsistence or agree in the first. Initially most of the people depend on subsistence or agree, agriculture. So marginal productivity is also less. So there may be marginal productivity is also less, so there may be what? Disguised unemployment. So agriculture cannot be a main or cannot be a major driver for economic growth. Agriculture cannot be a major driver for the economic growth. So it shifts the labor from primary to secondary sector. So it shifts the labor from primary to secondary sector. Because of this shift, it will not have any negative impact on agriculture. Underline this. It will not have, because of this shift, it will not have any negative impact on agriculture or agriculture sector. And he said, for the secondary sector also, because of this shift, two benefits. One is labor cost will vary less. Labor cost will vary less. And it is constant for larger period or longer period. And it is constant for longer period. And second thing, for the secondary sector, capitalists will reinvest back their benefits or their profits into the same secondary sector. Capitalists will reinvest back profits into the same secondary sector. So it runs by itself, like a cycle. Okay, see what you understood through this model. According to Lewis, for any kind of economy which seeking for the development or which seeking or which striving to get its economic growth or the development, there should be a shift from the primary to secondary. And when these shifts happen, primary means you know, right, agri and allied activity. When this shift happens, this already existing disguised unemployment in the primary sector may going to reduce. And for the secondary sector, what happens? There may be two kinds of things. One is the secondary sector who is investing, right? For those who are investing, for them it is a benefit, like they will get workers with less minimum wages. And another thing which is benefits as the economy as a whole is this secondary sector, it will get reinvestment because of the profit which is earned out of the initial business which has happened in secondary sector. The one thing, disguise unemployment in the primary sector going to reduces, and second thing, secondary sector going to improve. How secondary sector going to improve? Like the more people, if they observe in the secondary sector, means they will get employment also, and there is huge supply chain, means there is less demand, so the investors get employees at very minimum wages, they are also going to benefit. And again the profit arises out of that investment, again they will reinvest back into some other form, like in another branch of industry, right? This is his model. But is this model practically perfect? And I told you the word, labor supply is continuous and constant, right? There is a word constant something. Labor wage also, it is constant. Like when there is a economic growth means, economy is growing means it always grow with the inflation. In a basic class also, only I told you. When it is a growing economy means it grow with inflation. When it is inflation in the society means they also expect something large from you. Means they expect something high in their salary. So it will not grow with a constant. The first thing. Second thing, what is wrong in this model? What is the proof for they reinvest the same profit into that industry? Or maybe within India, there is no proof of reinvesting within India also. And there is no proof, this is not for India, this is just an economic model. We can say there is no proof for reinvesting in that sector. Or there is no proof for reinvestment at all, right? Or ವಾಪಸ್ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಏನೂ ಪ್ರೂಫ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅವ್ರ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅವ್ರು reinvest ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೇನಿದೆ ಪ್ರೂಫ್ reinvest ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. So these are the different criticism regarding this Lewis model. ಅದನ್ನು ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, the criticisms ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಇದೊಂದೆರಡು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. Why the economists criticize this model? Two factors. One is there is no guarantee for the constant supply of the wages in a constant salary. According to this model, there should be constant salary for a long period. Longer period antanu helide nanalva, longer period. That is, there is no proof for that. It is not true actually. Practically, this is not possible because when there is inflation, they expect something more from owner. And another thing, there is no proof for the reinvestment. This is in a large note, or it is in an economic note criticism. But for India, how it affected? Is this model is practically possible in India? Practically, this model is impossible, or it is not fits for Indian kind of economy. Why? The people who are there in the disguise in employment, or who are observed in the agriculture, they are very less skilled population, means very less skilled laborers. They are not able to come to secondary sector, the first thing, because of the skill lacking. There is no skill development program, first thing. The second thing is over tertiarization. The economy itself is not secondary sector economy. In India, if you look at primary sector and tertiary sector, there is no secondary sector set up. So this is not possible in India. Lewis model is not fits for Indian kind of economy. And another thing is pushing people from primary to secondary sector, it itself is not possible. Pushing people from primary to secondary sector, it itself is not possible because India is saying abrupt shift, right? India saw in its history, it's an abrupt shift after 1991. What is abrupt shift? Primary to tertiary. So this middle path got missed itself. So this is not suits for India. Lewis model. What is the reason for the abrupt shift? ಇದನ್ನು ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ವಾ? The reasons for abrupt shift and all ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ವಲ್ವಾ? What is the reasons? Tell me. Or what happens from this kind of shift, or impact of this shift? What is the motive for the abrupt shift? First of all, what is abrupt shift? Shift from primary to tertiary. So what happens when there is a shift? Okay, secondary sector not do well. Next. Okay, next. The pressure on land going to increase or decrease? This may be your prelims question. The pressure on land. Pressure on land means like population pressure, means more people depending on land is going to increase or decrease because of this abrupt shift. Increases. Why? Tertiary sector only absorbs one or very skilled laborers like engineers, right? So one or not very skilled, everybody absorbed in the primary sector only, means there is no secondary sector. So this abrupt shift increases the like pressure on the land, right? ಈ ತರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಮತ್ತೆ disguised unemployment going to increase or decrease because of this shift? Increases. Then how it impact the manufacturing goods, or negative impact, right? And inclusive growth going to increase or decrease? Inclusive growth decreases, right? And what is the reason for this shift? First thing, the stringent labor laws, right? So the foreigners not able to invest in our manufacturing sector because of the stringent labor laws. Second thing, the issues and problems within government also, like there is no proper policy in those sectors, and there is no benefits of these projects and the schemes which is specifically made for the secondary sector, like tertiary, like agri. And what are the other factors? Lack of technical inclusion, lack of skilled laborers for the tertiary sector, for the secondary sector, right? Then why abrupt shift? Reason for the shift? Because lack of infrastructure for the secondary sector also, right? ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ರಿವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸೊ ನಿಮ್ಮ ವ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ ಕನ್ಕ್ಲೂಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? How will conclude this answer? Like, what is the way forward for these kind of answers? Way forward. Like, what is your idea? How we can control this abrupt shift? See, first thing, you know the reason for this abrupt shift, right? What is the reasons? Stringent labor laws, and there is lack of infrastructure for the secondary sector. So you can use those reasons as a way forward, like stringent labor law, liberalize the laws, so that investment in the secondary sector become easy. That should be your answer. You know the reasons, that is in a negative terms, make it positive and write here. Are you getting my point or not? That's it. This is the easy answer writing technique. ಹೊಸ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹುಡುಕ್ಬೇಕಂತಾನಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಅದನ್ನೇ ಉಲ್ಟಾ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆಯೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಸೇಮ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ದಿರೋ ಥರ ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಐಡಿಯಾ ಸೇಮ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ತೊಂದರೆ, ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಹೇಗೆ ಬರೀತೀರಿ? stringent labor laws, liberalize labor laws, or liberalize the laws which is made for the employment. ಆ ಥರ ಆ ಲೇಬರ್ ಲಾನ ವರ್ಡ್ ಬರ್ದಿರೋ ಥರ ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ರೆ ಕಾಪಿ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? ಸಿ, ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು MSME ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ದೆ ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ. MSME ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಜನರೇಟರ್. in the secondary sector, manufacturing sector. So way forward is another, give somewhat more push for the MSME. Because of that, again employment generates in the secondary sector. ಆ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ವೇ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಬರೆಯೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಲೈಕ್ ನೀವು ಈ ವೇ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು. ರಾಜಸ್ಥಾನ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್, like they liberated in their number of employment 100 to 300, so that employment generated. ಅದೊಂದು ಮಾಡೆಲ್ನ ವೇ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಕಡೆ ಒಂದು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲ. ಆರ್ ಯು ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್? ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾಕೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೀಗಿದೆ? ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್, ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಆನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಫೇಸ್. Like government schemes should focus on the secondary sector, and Mudra Yojana and all, the easy credit guarantee schemes, and Stand Up India, Skill India, ಅದು ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ವೇ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ DBT, ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ಸ್, ಜನ್ಧನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್, ಆಧಾರ್ and bank account link. So economic inclusion happens, okay, financial inclusion. So financial literacy, technologically how we can include or how we can improve the secondary sector through technology. See, one were there in the agriculture as a discourage unemployment, we can train them and giving some knowledge about the technology, we can shift their from the field to the industry, right? And academy industry connections. Nowadays civil engineers and mechanical engineers, they go for IT, that is tertiary sector. Civil engineers and this one mechanical engineers, especially now, not civil, mechanical engineers, they are the good products for the secondary sector, right? They are the basics for the secondary sector, manufacturing, automobiles. So ಅವರು IT ಹೋಗ್ದಿರೋ ಥರ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಆಸ್ ಎ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ, ಅದನ್ನು ಕನ್ಕ್ಲೂಷನ್ ವೇ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀಬೇಕು ಜನರಲ್ ಆಗಿ. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅನದರ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್, ಹೆರಾಲ್ಡ್ ಡೋಮರ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್. HARROD, Herald, DOMAR. Every country have to save some of the amount of money or certain amount of money to handle depreciation. Depreciation means value reduce aguttalla, to handle depreciation. Within bracket, replacing old goods, maintenance. And whatever is left out after handling depreciation, and it is for the growth. And it is for the growth. And growth is depend on two factors. Economic growth is depend on two factors. One is savings or investment, and another thing is capital output ratio. Means what? If you want to have economic growth in any kind of economy, you must entertain savings, or you must push for the savings kinds of mindset. Another thing is capital output ratio, and I write capital output ratio in a denominator. Why? To increase economic growth, capital output ratio should be less. So what is capital output ratio then? You know savings, right? Saving. So that investment going to increases. So what is capital output ratio? ಏನಿರ್ಬೋದು? No. See, I told you, MSME or small industries are also producing the products, as well as the big multinational companies are also producing the products. If you look at the candle, a small industry also producing the candles, but big industry is also producing the candles. But these candles which is manufactured by small industry not able to compete with the big industries candles because which is less price compared to the small industries candle. So what is capital output ratio? Now tell me. ಇದೊಂದು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗ್ಲಿಮ್ಸ್, ಇದರಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಡೋಣ ಏನಾದರೂ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗತ್ತಾ. See, I'll tell you the definition. Capital output ratio is the capital which is needed for the single unit of output. It is the capital which is needed for the single unit of output. When the capital which is needed for one single output is more, that is not good. The capital which is less needed for the similar kind of output, that is good kind of manufacturing. The capital which is needed for the output, that itself is a capital output ratio. Means consider a product of 100 rupees. 100 rupees ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎರಡು ಕಂಪನಿಗಳು ಆ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟನ್ನು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. one company is producing it for 80 rupees, another company is producing it for 50 rupees, and both are selling it for 100 rupees. But one company 50 rupees ಗೆ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, another company 80 rupees ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. So capital output ratio of which company is good? 1 or 2? Means the capital which is needed for producing that output should be less for good capital output company. So capital output ratio of the one is more than the capital output ratio of the two. I guess now you have understood. So to improve the economic growth, capital output ratio should be less. Okay. Means less capital needed for more output. If you look at the developed countries, their capital output ratio is very less compared to underdeveloped countries. So the products from the developed countries, they are not able to compete with the underdeveloped countries' economic products, underdeveloped countries' economic products, because they have a sophisticated manufacturing machines, sophisticated machineries. Through that sophisticated machineries, they produce the same kind of products with a less minimum price, with very minimum wastages and proper utilization of the raw materials. Right? So when you utilize raw materials in 100%, means your capital output ratio would be very less. Right? See, capital output ratio, the real meaning is what is the capital needed for this kind of output. Is this capital less or more? If it is more capital needed for the same output, means that is bad. Right? Machine sari illa anta. Machine ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ರೆ less capital alle proper output ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. So for economic growth there should be a saving, and another thing, capital output ratio should be very less. This is the model of Harold Doman for any kind of economy. To witness economic growth, the saving should be there and capital output ratio should be there. Why the savings? Why he told there should be saving? Because for this capital output ratio become less only when there is a proper machineries, or only when there is a proper investment. And what is the basics for the investments? Savings. So in prelims ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು, capital output ratio. See, in underdeveloped countries, they need more capital to produce a similar kind of object which can produce by the developed countries with less minimum capitals. Okay, so this is another reason for the underdeveloped countries products not able to acquire the international market. Okay, while writing something else, you can use this capital output ratio in your answer. This is value added word for your answer. Okay, you understood, right? What is capital output ratio? To increase economic growth, our saving should be more or less according to this model. More. Capital output ratio less. ಇದನ್ನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಲ್ಲಿ, ಮೇ ಬಿ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು. So it is a technology entertained model or technology, like this model is appreciating technology or not? It appreciating technology, because capital output ratio become less when we went for the technologically manufactured products. If we went for the domestic products like MSME, or if we went for the like indigenous model of manufacturing the things, that is capital output ratio in those like tribal manufacturers or SHG manufacturing, in those industries, the capital output ratio is very high. Like ನೀವು ಪಿಕಲ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಫಿಸ್ಟಿಕೇಟೆಡ್ ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಮಾಡೋ ಪಿಕಲ್ಗೂ ಮತ್ತೆ SHG ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೂ ತುಂಬ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವೇಸ್ಟೇಜಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ಇನ್ SHG. The capital needed for the same kind of product is more compared to multinational companies, right? Hi. So, how is this affects to Indian economy? Like, is this model good for the India? Can we apply this model? Yes? What is the problem of this model? See, capital output ratio value become less only when we have a sophisticated technology. Yes or no? And if you look at the Indian technology, this is very poor compared to developed countries' technology. Compared to even developing country like China, compared to that country's technology, Indian technology is very weak in terms of the manufacturing. Yes, we have good technology in IT, but in terms of manufacturing, we are very poor. So, if you look at, this is another reason for secondary sector weakness in India, because of our capital output ratio very high. Okay, so this model will not suit India because our machineries is not sophisticated machineries. This model only suits for the countries where they have proper sophisticated machineries, like developed countries. Because of that reason, we are not implementing this model in India. Our Indian economy, we are not get to see this kind of model because our capital output ratio is very high compared to developed countries. ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನೀವು ಯಾವುದನ್ನೇ ಕಲ್ತರು ಹೊಸದನ್ನ ಅದನ್ನ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿಗೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಹೌ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಂತ. So capital output ratio or COR in India is high compared to China also. In China, sophisticated technology is there, so their wastage is less, raw material proper utilization is more, efficiency is more. So they are able to manufacture the same kind of product with less minimum price. So their COR is very less compared to us. So their model, China can implement this model, but not India. And another of savings and investment, India is moving towards savings, right? Investment, export-led growth. And China is moving towards which kind of growth? Consumption led growth. Okay, discuss ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. Okay, what? Now, see, what are the problems in the savings led growth? Like this is this model appreciating the savings rate, but what is the problem? Something savings led growth or savings appreciating economy. What is the problems? Saving ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಏನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು? The problems of the saving led growth economy. What? No expenditure. Very good. When there is no expenditure means there is no demand in the market. When there is no demand in the market means there is no manufacture. It's a cycle. So money in the circulation going to reduces because every money is saved in the bank account, right? So money in the economy going to reduces, the first thing. Then for moving towards this savings led growth, again there is a problem because of India facing lack of financial inclusion. While discussing gold and all, I told you, instead of saving in the bank there, if they saved in the bank, the bank capacity to lend may increases. If they saved in the form of gold means, what happens to the financial circulation or money circulation? It reduces. So again there is a problem. Savings, that is also kind of saving, right? Investing in gold is also kind of saving. Again that is a problem. Then what else is the problem of the savings led growth? ಬೇರೆ ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? And how it affects to employment? Unemployment going to increases. How? See, if every money is saved in the banks means there is no circulation of the money. No circulation, no demand means no employment at all. So unemployment going to increases. Okay, so savings led growth is having the positive is very less, but the negative out of that saving led growth model is very high. So savings led growth is not suits to India. Okay. Another model, W.W. Rostow model. W.W. Rostow model. W.W. Here, every country have to move out of poverty. Every country to move out of the poverty has to follow 5 steps. He give 5 steps, and every country should move in this way only. Wait like this. It's a kind of stepping stones. 1, 4, 5. Means ಇದೇ ತರನೇ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. Write 5 boxes. First thing in the basic, in 1, this is the base. Basic subsistence. Basic subsistence. Basic subsistence means what? Subsistence farming means what? At least the agriculture should render our needs. Subsistence level of agriculture. Agriculture for at least consumption. Means no science in the agriculture, no commercialization in the agriculture, or no manufacturing industry, nothing. This is a basic thing. Every country must start their economy with the basic subsistence farming. Means second condition here, this is a condition of takeoff. like flight takeoff ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಆ ಥರ. ದಿಸ್ ಎ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಆಫ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಬರೆದು ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಬರೀರಿ, ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಬರೀತಾ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡಿ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್, ಟೇಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್. Slowly commercial agriculture means it's agri-centric only, but commercial agriculture. Before subsistence agriculture, now commercial agriculture. Barter system. And slight inclusion of technology in agriculture, slight inclusion of science in agriculture. Then third, it is an intermediate stage between the agriculture and manufacturing. Third one. Intermediate stage between agriculture and manufacturing. Like basic manufacturing industry with less minimum technology in the third stage. Basic manufacturing industry with less minimum technology. Example, textile industry. Like diversified industry was not there, just subsistence level of industries or some basic industries. Okay. Next, in the fourth, drives towards the maturity in industry. Drive to maturity. Drive towards a maturity in industry. It is a stage where a manufacturing industry reaches its complex stage, like in every different sectors. Complex manufacturing means manufacturing evolved and reached its highest stage. Not only in basic manufacturing industry, now it's a diversified manufacturing. So in this stage, the first one going to decreases. Means the primary agriculture, that stage going to decreases. When we reach this stage, see, once we move to this stage, this stage full vanish ಆಗೋಗಲ್ಲ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So ಈ ಸ್ಟೇಜಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುವಾಗ, ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುವಾಗ ಈ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ವ್ಯಾನಿಷ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಈ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸ್ or started to go down. And fifth stage is the age of mass consumption. Mass consumption means the demand in the market is very high, and people purchasing power is also too high. Demand in the market, people purchasing power. And even tertiary sector, which saw its growth in this period. Tertiary sector. See, ಎಲ್ಲದನ್ನು ಬರಿತಾ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಯಾಕೆ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೀರಾ? Right. ಬರಿತಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ? Write everything, okay? This is very important. This is the age of purchasing power got increases. This is the age of consumption got increases. Or this is the age of tertiary sector. Means what? The agri sector completely slow down. I mean, primary sector and secondary sector, this completely slow down. Not primary sector, the primary stage and secondary stage of the economy. But manufacturing sector still prevails. This is the model which is given by W. Rastow in any kind of economy. But he experienced or he faced a lot many criticism because of this model. Okay. Why? Because this is not universal. This may be applicable for certain kind of economy. Okay. Now, what we saw in our first stage, initial stage, what is there? Subsistence farming. Next, the same economy will move towards taking off stage. Means ಏನಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ slowly commercialization of agriculture or technology inclusion in the agriculture. Next, barter system means exchange system means something exchanges starts. Next. Okay. Next. In the third stage. In the third stage, intermediary stage, basic manufacturing sector. Then with less technology, manufacturing with less technology. Example, textile industry. Then there is no diversification in terms of industry in the third stage. But in the fourth stage, the manufacturing drives to its maturity. Means there is wide range of manufacturing. Means where complex manufacturing started, and private sector also started to going. Primary sector started to going down. Then age of mass consumption means the people's purchasing power going to increases, and tertiary sector got developed, and agri vanishes. Reach very down, and manufacturing sector still remains. This is the different model which is given by W.W. Rastow. Okay, and what is the criticism he faced? Right, the criticism of this model. He assumed every country to move like these steps only, or step-to-step basis. He assumed every country to move like these steps-to-step basis. He assumed every country to move like these steps-to-step basis. But that is not true for the every country. Why? There may be sudden shift from 1 to 3. There may be sudden shift from 2 to 4. Step-to-step basis may not be followed. Right. And another thing, this step he oversimplified. This is another criticism. He oversimplified the economy. This is not the case. Like economy is somewhat complex. Economy is not this much simple, according to some criticizers. And the big criticism is, he is from Europe, that is, he understood every economy is a Europe-centric economy. That is not the case. Or his model fits for the European countries, but may not for the entire world. So this is Euro-centric model. This is another kind of criticism. Just he looking at the European countries' economy, he founded or he made a model for rest of the economy, and that doesn't suits well for the rest of the economies. May it fits well for the European markets or European finances, European country economy. Okay. So that part of the economy over. The huge part of the economy over. Now we left with a banking and financial market. Okay. If we done our banking and financial market means entire economy, we finish. Okay. Any doubts from the beginning? See, overall present for the economic class from the beginning, like not even miss the single class. What is the note size? 200 pages, huh? Okay. Again here, lot many to do, don't worry. I guess you think mugiyalla. Innu tumba ide. Banking is very big chapter. Financial market again big chapter. Let's see. ಏನಾದರೂ ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಈ ಸೆಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಈ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ದೀಗ. ಹೊಸ ಲೈಕ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಸೆಟ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಈಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹೊತ್ತಿಗೆ. ಸೊ ಅಷ್ಟರೊಳಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಇದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳಿ. ಯಾವ ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅಬ್ರಪ್ಟ್ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಈಗ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತನಾ? ಯಾವುದರಿಂದ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ? ನಂಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಕೇಳಿ. ಲೇಬರ್ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಸೆಕ್ಟರಿಂದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ಗೆ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ಗೆ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ? ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ವಿಚ್ ಮಾಡಲ್? ಅಂದರೆ ಜನರಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಅಥವಾ ನಾ ಇವತ್ತು ಒಂದು 3-4 ಮಾಡಲ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ವಾ, ಇದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರ ಜನರಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಹಾಗಾಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು ನಾವು. ದ ಹೆಲ್ದಿ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಸೈನ್ ಈಸ್ a proper structuring, like with respect to the GDP there should be employment, but that is not the case. If you look at the tertiary sector, very less employment but more GDP. If you look at agri, very less GDP but more employment. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಹೇಳೋದು, ಬಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಜನ. ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಅಗ್ರಿ ಫೇಸಿಂಗ್ ಡಿಸ್ಗೈಸ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಜನ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಫೀಲ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ, ಸೊ ಏನು ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಜನ ಇರಬಾರ್ದು. If you look at other developed countries, their employment and GDP is similar, on par with them. But in India, that is not the case. So European model ತರ agriculture ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಬೇಕು, and ಅದು ಬರಲ್ಲ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಒಂದೇ ಕಡೆ ಇದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ತರ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ 80% of the farmers are small landholders, more than 80%, less than 2 acres. That is not the case with Europe or USA or rest of the developed countries. Okay, so using machinery is easy. Or helicopter missions, pesticides spray ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪ್ರೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಪಕ್ಕದ ಗದ್ದೆಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಹಾಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಏನಾದರೂ? ಹಾಂ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜೋರ ಹೇಳಿ, ನನಗೆ ಕೇಳಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಂ, ಓಕೆ, 5th, ಹಾಂ ಹಾಂ, ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ರಿಮೈನ್ಸ್ ಸೇಮ್. ಹಾಂ, ಹೌದು. ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇಂದ, ಹೌದು. ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಲೈಕ್ ರಾ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟು ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಫುಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರೋದು ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಇಂದಾನೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸಿ ಎನಿ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಲುಕ್ ಅಟ್ ಎನಿ ಎಕಾನಮಿ, the entire vanishing of the primary sector agriculture, it will not survive. Maybe ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ತರ್ಬೋದು, ಮಷಿನರೀಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜನ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋರು, ಅಥವಾ ದ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಮೇ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಮೆಷನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಮೇ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್, ಆರ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗಿ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಕಮರ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಬಿಟ್ರೆ, ಆ ಸಬ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಹೋಗಿ ಬೇರೆ ತರ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಬಿಟ್ರೆ, ಅಥವಾ ದ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್, ಐ ಮೀನ್ ದ ಏರಿಯಾ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ರಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಮೇ ಡಿಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ರೆ, ದ yield, the cropping which arise out of that field may remain same. Maybe it increases. ನೀವು ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲೂ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್, ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ರೆವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್, ಹೈಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ವೆರೈಟಿ ಸೀಡ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವಾಗ ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಏರಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಬೆಳೆ ಬೆಳೀತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ, ಬಟ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ಸಿಗ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಹೈಲ್ಡ್. ಇವಾಗ ಇಯರ್ ಆನ್ ಇಯರ್ ನಮ್ಮದು ಬೆಳೆ ಬೆಳೆಯೋ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಏರಿಯಾ ರೆಡ್ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್, then also yields increasing. Why area reducing, then also yield increasing? Because of high yield variety seeds, right? Genetically modified seeds. So ಈ ಥರ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ವ್ಯಾನಿಷ್ ಆದರೆ, ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ವ್ಯಾನಿಷ್ ಆದರೆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಮತ್ತು ಟರ್ಷರಿ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇರೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು? ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಹೋಗೋಣ ಅಥವಾ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಹೇಳಿ. ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್? ಎಲ್ಲ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಂದ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಂದ? ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಇದೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ, ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಇದೆ. ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಫಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಇದೆ, ಪೊಲಿಟಿ ಯಾವುದೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಫಿನೂ ಫುಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮೇ ಬಿ, ಬಟ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಯಾರು ಅಷ್ಟು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಫುಲ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ವಿಡಿಯೋ? ಮೀನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಗೆ ಬಂದು ಬರ್ದೇನೋ ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ನಿಮ್ದೊಂದು, ಮತ್ತು ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರ್ದು ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ನೋಡಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ರೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಅರ್ಧಂಬರ್ಧ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಮೂವ್ ಆನ್, ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆನ್. Take heading is a banking. Banking. What is bank first of all? ನಿಮಗಾಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ನೀವಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಸೊ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತಾಳ್ಮೆ ವಹಿಸಬೇಕು ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್? ಅದು ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ? It's a financial intermediary for the loan and debt. Or you can say, what is the profit for the bank? The difference between the interest which it gives or interest which it receives. This is the profit of the bank. And bank is a financial intermediary. First thing. That's good. Bank is a financial intermediary. And profit of the bank is the difference between its interest. What is the difference between interest means? See, the loan for the bank which it lends is the asset of the bank. The loan which it lends is the asset of the bank. The loan which it receives is the liability for the bank. The loan which it lends, it receives interest for that loan. Or the money which it receives, it will give interest for those investors. Right? So these are the two interests. The difference between two interests is the profit of the bank. Loan is a liability to the bank. And what is the asset? I mean, loan is the asset of the bank. The deposit are the liabilities of the bank. For loan and deposit, both there is an interest. The difference between these interests is the profit of the bank. Are you getting my point? So, what are the kinds of deposits in a normal bank? Deposits kind. Fixed. Another thing, normal like fixed and demand deposits are time and demand deposits. You can say time or term deposits and demand deposits. Time or term, then demand. What is the difference between time and demand deposits? In demand deposits, again two things: savings account, current account. Savings, fixed deposits are the time deposits. Means it is fixed for particular time. Within demand deposits, there are two kinds of deposits. One is savings and another one is current. Savings means anyone can open normally. ನಮ್ದು ATM ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳುತ್ತಲ್ವ, ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ, ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ. ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಸ್ ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್. ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್, ವಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್. ನಮ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ, ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಇರೋದು. And it is, there is no time limit, means there is no term. It is an amount which is there in their account. They can extract that amount whenever they want. But time and term deposit means there is a prescribed time limit to get back their money from their account. So rate of interest is more in which kind of deposits? Time or fixed deposit or term deposits. So rate of interest for demand deposits is very less. Perfect. In time deposits also, there are two kinds. One is fixed deposit and another one is recurring deposits. What is the difference? What is the difference? Recurring deposits means what? It is an Indian invention, first of all. For investment also there is a EMI, right? See, fixed deposits and recurring deposits is the kind of term deposits or the time deposits of the bank. Means there is a time limit to regain or retake that money. If you invest some money in a lump sum mode, in a single point or in a single stretch, that will become fixed deposit. Recurring deposit is the Indian model of deposit. Here they will give EMI for your deposit also. Like you can deposit in a not fixed time, I mean not in a single shot. You can deposit the same fixed deposit in a 4 EMI, 5 EMI or whatever the time you want. Not like a single shots. Fixed deposit means single shots. You'll deposit in a single day and you'll get back in a similar way on a single day. But in a recurring deposits, you can deposit your money in a more than one times. Like a EMI. But you will not get on your want, you will get after the completion of the term, means maturity. Depending on the year which you fix it, like 2 year, 5 year, 10 year. This is the structure. Before the maturity ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ರೇಟ್ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂಡ್ ಕೆಲವು ಸತಿ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕೂ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಲಾಟ್ ಮೇ ರಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ದ ನೇಮ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಡೆಪಾಸಿಟ್ ಆರ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಡೆಪಾಸಿಟ್ಸ್. ಎಮರ್ಜೆನ್ಸಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೋಬಹುದು, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಯಾವುದೂ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕೆಲವು ಸತಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ವಾಪಸ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ. ಫರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದ ಪ್ಲಾನ್. ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಈಸ್ you get in time deposits or term deposits means this is for the interest only. You'll get good interest. Okay. Recurring deposits normally used by fixed salary people like government officials. They'll use this. Their EMIs normally like their monthly salary is going for the EMI and that will fix it for particular period. So that their interest rate, they'll get interest rate, huge interest rate for that. Okay. This is the thing. And recurring interest rate, this is the Indian invention. Or recurring deposit, this is the Indian thing. Okay. In banking institution, what are the two kinds of banking institution? Like institutional and non-institutional, or you can say official or unofficial, institutional or uninstitutional. What is the non-institutional banking? Non-institutional banks. No. Non-institutional banks means that is not a banks at all. First of all, non-institutional. PLB. What is that? No. If it is something bank means that is institutional only. I am talking about non-institutional. Money lenders. One who lend money at the rural place without any document, without any securities. Chit funds, that is not institutional. Chit funds, Punji schemes alla gottide alva. Agri gold, Ponzi schemes, chit funds, money lenders, these are all non-institutional. Institutional means the banking setup, all the banks, even NBFCs, even the SEBI, okay, everything comes under institutional. RBI, okay. And under institutional banking structure, there is a proper structure in the banking. Let us discuss the banking structure. Take heading. Under institutional, there is a proper banking structure. Banking structure under institutional. What are the 4 different kinds of banks? First one, commercial banks. Second one, commercial banks. Developmental banks. Differential banks. Cooperative bank. These are the 4 broad divisions in the banking structure. differential. This is N, okay. Commercial bank, developmental bank, differential and cooperative banks. Okay, these are the four broad divisions in the banking sector. And give some of the examples for the commercial banks. Public sector bank. Then all private banks. Then what? Foreign banks. Then RRBs, etc. Regional rural banks. Okay, these are the different commercial banks. What are the developmental banks? NABARD. Then SIDBI. Then what? EXIM. I mean Export Import Bank. EXIM. Okay. National Housing Bank. NHB. Etc. Differential banks means payment bank. Then small finance bank. Shariat bank or Islamic bank. Bank or Islamic bank. Okay. Next, different state cooperatives. State cooperatives like Karnataka cooperative, Andhra cooperative, Tamil Nadu cooperative. Like this. These are the different structure in a broader way. This is the structure of the bank. See, in the banking structure there is two kinds. One is institutional, other is non-institutional. Non-institutional means something away from the institutional setup. Within institutional there is again four kinds: commercial, developmental, differential and cooperative banks. In commercial banks, public sector bank, let us go by individual banks first. First take down the name. Commercial banks, public sector bank, private bank, foreign bank and RRB. Okay. Developmental bank, NABARD, SIDBI, EXIM and NHB. Differential bank, payment bank, small finance bank and Shariat bank or Islamic bank. And cooperative bank, state cooperatives like different state cooperatives. Okay. Again, within cooperatives also lot many kinds like credit and non-credit cooperatives, agricultural and non-agricultural cooperatives. Okay, within agriculture also short-term cooperative, long-term cooperative. A short-term agriculture loan, long-term agriculture loan cooperatives. Okay. Or till this much, take commercial bank as a heading. Have I got this? Bro. Commercial banks. Tell me what is commercial bank first of all? Something commercial means what? Profit oriented. Okay. There are few types. Two types. What are the two types of the commercial bank? Scheduled and non-scheduled banks. Okay. What is scheduled bank? See, under commercial, take it as a commercial bank. In that there are two kinds. Again, scheduled commercial bank and non-scheduled commercial bank. What is scheduled caste and scheduled tribes? In polity we discussed it, right? Scheduled caste means the caste names or the scheduled tribes means the tribes names which is mentioned in the schedule. Schedule means one page of the constitution. ಆ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಪೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ನೇಮ್ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಯಾವ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಟ್ರೈಬ್ ನೇಮ್ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಶೆಡ್ಯೂಲ್ಡ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಶೆಡ್ಯೂಲ್ಡ್ ಟ್ರೈಬ್. ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ಇನ್ RBI Act there is a schedule 2, means there is a one page in the schedule RBI Act. In that some of the banks which is mentioned their names, all the banks names which is mentioned in that schedule are called scheduled banks. Okay. The banks which is listed in second schedule of RBI Act. And which is outside this schedule are non-scheduled banks. Those are all bank also, even commercial bank only, but some of the commercial banks are not mentioned in that schedule of the RBI Act, not constitution. Okay. Then take like this, divide your page in scheduled and non-scheduled. First one, in scheduled commercial bank. What is the difference between scheduled and non-scheduled commercial banks? Which one? Non-scheduled means who going to decide the what is CRR and SLR first of all? ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಾ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬ್ಯಾಚಿಗೆ? CRR, SLR, no? CRR, SLR, ರೆಪೋ ರೇಟ್, ರಿಪೋ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ನನಗೆ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಇನ್ನೂ ನೆನಪಿದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಬಂದಿತ್ತು ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ. ಮನಿ ಸಪ್ಲೈ, ಇನ್ವರ್ಸ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನಲ್, ಪ್ರೊಪಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ, ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನಲ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದೆನ್ CRR, SLR? ಟೆಲ್ ಮಿ. What is CRR and SLR? Cash reserve ratio, and these are the reserve setup. Cash reserve ratio and statutory liquidity ratio. Cash reserve ratio means it is the amount of money which is reserved in the RBI. That is a Basel norms alva. RBI ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಗಳು ಇಡಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. And SLR means this is the statutory liquidity ratio, means something which is there in the liquid form you must maintain in a bank itself, not with the RBI. It may be in the gold, it may be in the G-sets, or it may be in a cash also. This is SLR and CRR. Here in scheduled commercial banks, the CRR and SLR should be maintained. In non-scheduled commercial bank also CRR and SLR should be maintained. But where you have to keep CRR? Where you have to keep CRR? In RBI, right? But in the non-scheduled commercial banks, you don't have to keep with the RBI. They can keep CRR with themselves. This is the first difference. Here, SLR they will keep with themselves, and CRR they will park in the RBI. Here, both SLR and CRR they will keep with themselves only. Means they will maintain CRR with themselves in a non-scheduled commercial bank. Here, they will maintain SLR with themselves, but CRR with RBI. Here, in the scheduled commercial banks, they will maintain SLR with themselves and CRR with the RBI. That is we discussed while discussing CRR and SLR. CRR means cash reserve ratio, that should be parked with the RBI only. But in the non-scheduled commercial banks, they will give option to these banks. I mean RBI give option to these banks. You can park the same amount of money with yourself, or you can hold your own money. Not needed to park with RBI. This is the extra regulations or extra liberalization given by the RBI to these non-scheduled commercial banks. But for scheduled commercial banks, they have to maintain this here with RBI only. And what is the another difference? Another difference, like is this scheduled commercial banks where they will get money, or any banks where they will get money for lending? They will get money from their RBI only. RBI lend money to the commercial banks, and commercial banks lend money to the investors. This is the style. And what is the difference in between these two with respect to the money which is arising out of the RBI. What is the difference? We discussed it. Tell me. RBI decision where? In non-scheduled commercial bank. Here, see, scheduled commercial banks, they are eligible to borrow money from the RBI. In a first note only, means they are always eligible to borrow money because they will maintain CRR with RBI. They are eligible to borrow money from RBI. In non-scheduled commercial banks, they can also borrow money from the RBI, but only after the approval of the RBI. Not in a normal note. Here they are eligible in a normal note only, scheduled commercial banks. But in a non-scheduled commercial banks, if RBI agrees, then only it will lend. Otherwise, it will not lend. This is the thing. And what is another difference? That one same. Means both scheduled and non-scheduled commercial banks, their depositors' interest was protected by the RBI. Means RBI protects the interest of the depositors of these commercial banks as well as these scheduled bank and non-scheduled banks. So RBI is the final protector of the depositors or the common public, their deposits. Bank should protect the interest of the deposits. Means these banks should follow the rules of the RBI. Here non-scheduled bank also, they should follow the rules of the rules and regulation of the RBI. And what else is the difference? Scheduled banks are divided into two parts. One is scheduled commercial bank, scheduled cooperatives. Okay, this is the thing. This is all about commercial banks. Then what is next? In 1949, take heading, 1949 Banking Regulation Act. See, the RBI concept was there even before our independence. But that time, that is under the British. But after independence, in 1949, first time Banking Regulation Act came into picture. 1949 Banking Regulation Act. Banking Regulation Act. This act came into picture, which was introduced to empower RBI. Which was introduced just to empower RBI. This is the act, means it is a parliamentary process. It was passed through two houses of the parliament, and the law which is formed just to empower the RBI. Okay. ಹೇಗೆ empower ಮಾಡ್ತು? First one. Means RBI becomes so powerful to give license to new banks. Because of this act, it empowers the RBI to give license to companies to establish banks. License means RBI become empowered, means RBI becomes so powerful to give license to the banks. Otherwise, before, who is going to give license to the banks? Britishers. Here RBI become powerful, but not the government. Okay. Now there is a difference. Administration is government, the financial administration is RBI. So RBI becomes so powerful, like it can give license to the companies to start their own bank. Next thing, it gives permission to banks for expansion of the branches also. For the expansion of the existing bank branches, they need license for the expansion of the branches also, and that was given by the RBI according to this act. And RBI become powerful to prescribe audit and liquidity norms. To prescribe audit and liquidity norms. Norms, NORMS. Audit and liquidity norms. RBI become powerful to prescribe audit and liquidity norms. What are the audit and liquidity norms of the bank? SLR, CRR. These are all going to be decided by RBI from then. Before, that was decided by the British government or the parliament. After 1949 Act, it was decided by the RBI. Okay, next. It protects the interest of the depositors. RBI become powerful to protect the interest of depositors. RBI becomes so powerful to protect the interest of depositors, and RBI started to merging of the bank. RBI become so powerful to merge different banks. Okay, so SBI is which kind of bank? It is a commercial bank, but it is owned by, means maximum share is with the government. Okay, public sector bank, you can say public sector bank, means 50% of the share is with the government. Okay. SBI. And other state bank also, State Bank of India, State Bank of Mysore is there, you know this, State Bank of Hyderabad is there, Indore is there, State Bank of Patiala is there, Jaipur is there, Saurashtra, State Bank of Indore, depending on the states. That is also government owned. I mean, maximum share is with the government. Maximum share is with the government. Something state bank. Maximum share with the state means government. Okay. Next. Developmental bank as a heading. See, what are the different developmental banks we discussed? Different developmental banks. NABARD, SIDBI, EXIC, Export Import Bank, National Housing Bank. See, what is NABARD? What is NABARD full form? National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, and EXIM, Export Import Bank of India. Next, NHB, National Housing Bank, and SIDBI, Small Industry Development Bank. See, what is this? This full form ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಏನು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ? National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, National Housing Bank, Export Import Bank, and Small Industry Development Bank means something development, right? These banks manufacture for the purpose of the development of the country, or for the purpose of the development, means welfare. It is a kind of welfare schemes. So it is not produced for the banking service as a theme. It is produced for the objective of giving, financial support, or giving kind of, it's a kind of welfare scheme. ನಮ್ದು ಹೇಗೆ ಪಾವರ್ಟಿ ಎಲಿವೇಶನ್ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ, ಅದೇ ತರ ಇದು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕೀಮ್. ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ scheme. So these banks are established through Act of Parliament. Like Parliament ಹೇಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ವೆಲ್ಫೇರ್ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ಸ್ ತರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದೇ ತರ ಈ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನು ತಂದಿರೋದು. These developmental banks is a Act of Parliament. It is a output or the product of Act of Parliament. Underline that. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. Development banks is a Act of Parliament. Act of Parliament means this is a kind of social welfare scheme. These banks did not accept deposits. Underline. Deposit, now not term deposits, demand deposits, savings, current. It will not going to accept these kind of deposits. Okay. So as of now, there are 4 standard developmental banks which is there in India. First one, take heading EXIM. Export Import Bank of India. 1982 January 1982. See, what is the purpose of this bank? What is the purpose of this bank? Increasing cross-border trade. How it will increase the cross-border trade? Just by opening one bank. Just one of there in the export-import business, we are lending more amount with less minimum interest, right? We are lending more amount, or we are providing credit facilities for them with a less minimum interest. So we are supporting them. So that what happens? Our cross-border trade going to increases. So this is just for the purpose of increasing our trade, export-import bank. So that the intention is economic development. That's why the name developmental bank. Okay. And it is promotes investment. It promotes imports. It promotes even export. And it also helpful for the foreign currency exchange. These kind of banks also helpful for the foreign currency exchange. It also promote our exporters with providing credit facilities. Or it also providing loan facilities for our importers. Okay, these are the things. Second one, NABARD. NABARD means National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. See, most of the people, they don't know about NABARD talking about rural development also. NABARD at takshana agriculture matra strike agutte. That is not true. It also talks about rural development. So underline this with star mark and all. It was formed on 1982, July 1982. It is a regulatory authority for cooperatives and regional rural bank. It is a regulatory authority. See, NABARD direct nಮಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡುತ್ತಾ? It will not directly, it lend indirectly, means recapitalization or reinvestment or refinance. You can say refinance. How? It lends to the bank, it lends to the cooperatives, it lends to the RRBs, or it lends to the rest of the commercial banks. So commercial banks lends to the common public. It will not directly lends to the public. So it refinance. It refinance. It will not going to finance to the farmers directly. It will refinance. Refinance means it finance to the bank, and bank going to finance to the peasants or the farmers. Okay. So it manage the cooperatives. It manage the regional rural banks, RRBs. Okay. So refinance is the strike word here. Underline that. Isn't ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ example. Means it provide directly or indirectly. See, like government made a plan like this year 10,000 crore for we will going to invest for agriculture and rural development 10,000 crore, and it refinance it, means it finance to the RRBs, it finance to the cooperatives. 8,000 crore it is spent and left with 2,000 crore, right? And what happens to this 2,000 crore? 8,000 ಕೋಟಿ ಖರ್ಚಾಯಿತು, ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅವ್ರು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದೆಲ್ಲ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಬಟ್ 2,000 ಕೋಟಿ ಉಳಿದಿದೆ. ಅದು ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತಾ? ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಓಲ್ಡ್ UPSC ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್. ಸಿ, ದಿಸ್ ರಿಮೈಂಡ್ 2,000 crore which will go for the state government's account, and state government should use these amounts, remaining amount of the NABARD for the agriculture and rural development only. ಬೇರೆದಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಗಿಲ್ಲ. The money which is left out in NABARD investment, which should go for the rural, which will go for the state governments, and state government must use these amounts to rural development as well as agriculture purpose only, not for other purpose. The money which is left out in NABARD which will go for state governments, and state government use it for the rural development as well as agriculture. If agriculture only means, that is also wrong, because it also talks about rural development. Yes. State government, not government banks. State government itself, because ಇದು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಉಳಿದಿರೋ ಅಮೌಂಟ್, ಈ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಈ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಖರ್ಚು ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಉಳಿದಿದೆ, ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ? ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಆಫ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಥವಾ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಆಫ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್, ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಆಫ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಆಫ್ ಪಂಚಾಯತ್ ರಾಜ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್, ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಆಫ್ ರೂರಲ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಆಫ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್, ಈ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಇದು ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಓಲ್ಡ್ UPSC ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್. ಅಂಡ್ another striking word here is refinance. What is refinance? It is not going to lend directly, lend to the bank and bank going to lend to the farmers. This is the thing. And another one, NHB, third one, National Housing Bank, 1988. National Housing Bank. This is the bank which lend house loan, finance to banks. See, this is also kind of refinancing. It banks to the NBFCs. It invests money in the NBFCs, or it lends to the other banking sectors, and those banks invest to the housing loans. It provides finance to banks and NBFCs for housing projects. These national housing banks, they finance to the banks and NBFCs, and these what is NBFC? Non-banking financial companies or whatever. These banks and NBFCs, these going to lend to the housing projects, but not directly NHB. So housing loan means what? It is also kind of developmental work, right? So it also fits in developmental bank. USA 2007 subprime crisis is the reason, alva? I discussed this, I guess. Subprime crisis, they irrationally lend loan to the housing projects so that they are not able to pay back. So entire country fall into debt trap. That is the situation arise in 2007 of USA economy. So this is another kind of developmental bank. Next, SIDB, fourth developmental bank. What is SIDB? SIDB 1990, right? 1990. What it is? Small Industry Developmental Bank of India. Small Industry Developmental Bank of India. See, what is Small Industry Development Bank of India? Here it is also not directly going to lend to small industries or small setups. What it will do? It sometimes directly lend to the government, and it appreciate the governments in terms of its developmental projects like Mudra Yojana and some of the policies like Stand Up India project, like some of the lending schemes of the government which needs money, and where the government gets money from this SIDB. It promotes and provides loans to small entrepreneurs, where government scheme like Mudra, Stand Up India. Mudra and Stand Up India gottide nimage? Let us discuss later. Mudra is a small finance. MUDRA. ಮುದ್ರಾ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ಈ ಸಣ್ಣ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರಲ್ವ, ರಿಟೈಲ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್, ಅವರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಲೋನ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಮುದ್ರಾದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಎನಿ ಕೊಲ್ಯಾಟ್ರಲ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎ ಬ್ರೌನ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ಡ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ಗೆ ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಲೋನ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆರ್ ವೆರಿ ಲೆಸ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ. ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರೀನೇ ಮುದ್ರಾದಲ್ಲಿ, ಬಟ್ ಲಿಟಲ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಎನಿ ಕೊಲ್ಯಾಟ್ರಲ್, ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಏನು ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿರಲ್ಲ, ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ದೆನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ST ವುಮನ್. ಹ್ಯೂಜ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೋನ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್, ಸಬ್ಸಿಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರೀಮಿಯಂ ಸಮೇತ ಫುಲ್ ಕಟ್ಟಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟಿಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ, ಸಿಡ್ ಬಿ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್. Okay, small industry development. Even government is investing, some bank is investing on MSME means SID is going to invest on those banks because it is investing in MSME. MSME is a small industry, right? Like that. MSME discuss ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನ ನಾನು. Fine. Then what is the next bank? Differential bank. Take it. Differential bank. What is the committee recommended for this bank? Nachiket More Committee. Nachiket More Committee, they recommended, and because of their recommendation, government established differential banks. It's mainly two kinds. One is payment bank and another one is small finance bank, and another is Islamic bank. Payment bank, small finance bank and Islamic bank. Take a look at payment bank. Payment bank. They are all established under Banking Regulation Act 1949. Established under Banking Regulation Act 1949, but registered under Companies Act 2013. Companies Act means, what is this? These banks are nothing but a company only because they are registered under Companies Act. Payment banks registered under Companies Act 2013 means they are the company only, but they given the status of the scheduled bank under RBI Act. These banks given the status of the scheduled bank under RBI Act. They are actually company which is registered in the Companies Act, but they given the scheduled bank status by RBI Act. Like my question is, these payment banks accept deposits or not? They given the status of the commercial banks means what? They'll accept the deposits, but up to 1 lakh, not more than that. Per customer, 1 lakh per customer. And is it give interest? Yes, without interest nobody going to invest. It will give interest, but interest is very minimum, like our saving bank account, not like our term deposits. It's like our savings, means very less interest. See, every word is very important. Keltare idine prelims alli, like each payment bank receives what debt receive madata anta, and it will give interest or not, ee tara keltare. It accepts deposits or not anta keltare. Is it accept deposits? Yes. It provide interest? Yes. And is there a cap for its deposits? Yes. What is the cap? 1 lakh. Very good. See, like it accepts deposits like savings bank, like savings account with less minimum interest. That means, is it provide or is it issue ATM card? Yes, it issues ATM card, a credit card, debit card, but it will not going to issue credit card. It issue ATM card, but it will not issue credit card. That is the choke point here. ಇದನ್ನೇ prelims ಅಲ್ಲಿ question ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. It issue ATM card, but not going to issue credit card. Like, is it follow all the norms of the RBI like SLR, CRR, these banks? Yes, it must follow, because it is also registered under RBI Act, right? ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Is it follow SLR, CRR ಅಂತ? Yes, it follow all the norms of the RBI like SLR, CRR. Okay. Till now we are having 11 institutions of the payment banks which got the license from RBI. Okay. Adu question agbodu. Till now we have 11 institutions. 11. We have 11 institutions of the payment bank which got license from RBI Act. Next thing, what is the next bank? Small Finance Bank. Take heading, Small Finance Bank. Small Finance Bank. This is the result out of Usha Thorat Committee recommendation. Usha Thorat Committee recommendation to establish Small Finance Bank. See, these small finance banks, they provide a basic banking facilities like accepting a little deposits and lending to unbanked sections such as small vendors or small MSMEs. They accept deposits and lend to unbanked sections. Like small farmers, or you can say not small farmers, small businessmen, MSMEs, and lend to unbanked sections. Means one or not very formal, like small roadside vendors or small retailers or MSMEs, small MSMEs, and unorganized sector entities, etc. They normally located in semi-urban areas, these kind of banks, not in the rural area. They normally located in urban and semi-urban areas. Like the RBI regulation norms, RRR, SLR and CRR, they'll maintain or not? They should maintain, and they will maintain. They are required to maintain CRR and SLR. CRR with RBI, SLR with themselves. This is the non-schedule. That means both CRR and SLR with themselves only. Okay, with themselves only. That is not important here. Like, is they maintain regulation of the RBI, or they will comes under the regulation of, or they will maintain the norms of the RBI. That is important. Like SLR and CRR maintain ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಅದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಾಟ್ ನೀಡೆಡ್. Payment bank. Usha Thorat committee is for small finance bank. Actually, Nachiket More committee, they give idea to the government, like you should maintain entire differential banks. Like not only as payment bank. Have an idea of differential bank. This is the outcome of Nachiket More committee recommendation. Before that, there is no idea of the differential banks. Okay, and this one, the small payment bank or the payment bank, which is arised out of that committee recommendation. Nachiket More committee is more than that, not only for that. Okay, while discussing differential bank, any kind of differential bank, you can include Nachiket More committee recommendations. Okay. And there is a rules for this. Like, what are the rules? They require to extend 75% of the credit to priority sectors. They are required to extend 75% of their credit to priority sectors. They are required to extend 75% of their credit to priority sector. See, what is this? They are required to 75% of the credit for the priority sector. Means there is a priority sector lending in every bank. Normally in commercial banks it is around 40%, 30%. Here it is 75% because it itself is a differential bank. It is a kind of the government schemes only, right? So the purpose of the founding idea of the differential bank is to provide loan for unorganized sector. So one over the priority sector. So priority sector lending should be maximum in its entire credit flow. Organized sector ಇವರೇ ಬೇಕಂತಿಲ್ಲ, commercial banks ಸಮೇತ loan ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. The main area is unorganized sector, priority sector. So 75% of its lending should go for priority sector. This is the idea behind. And a small finance bank must have at least 25% of the branch in rural area. Why? Semi-urban area, rural and semi-urban area. Why? In metropolitan area, they will get good number of peoples, means good customers. So they will not motivated to open their bank accounts. Open their bank branches in the semi-urban area. So this is the rulings in its terms only. 25% of the branches should be in the semi-urban or in the rural area. Okay, these are the things. Next, Islamic bank or Shariat bank. ಏನು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಇದನ್ನು ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ? This is only for the Islam ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. Yes, it is only for the Islams, and here there is no interest rate for any kind of loan. There is no interest. It is an interest-free loan bank, because in Quran receiving interest is a kind of sin. In Quran receiving interest is a kind of sin, papa. Interest ತಗೋಬಾರ್ದು. So they were not charging interest. It is a banking system based on the principle of not charging interest. Underline. They were not charging interest, which prohibited under Islam, which is called interest-free banking. Another name, interest-free banking. Okay. These are the different banks. Like cooperative banks, you know, right? Like agriculture cooperative and non-agriculture cooperative. Non-agriculture cooperative means allied activities, and within agriculture also credit and non-credit. Some of the cooperatives are non-credit also, just for the farmer training and all. There are cooperatives just for the farmers training. Sometimes political groups, sometimes skill development groups for the farmers. And in the credit cooperatives, long-term credit and short-term credit, and the crop specific credit cooperatives like Areca cooperatives. If you look at Camco, that is also cooperative. That is only for the Areca growers, right? Are you connecting? Camco chocolate, that is only for the Areca growers. So like this, there is cooperative for the specific sector also. And in a broader note, long-term loans, short-term loans. The Areca growers, they need long-term loans, like 10 years loan, 15 years loan, right? And some of the agri, they need short-term loan, like seasonal crops. If somebody groundnut means he don't need 10 years loan. He just need 6-month loan, 3-month loan. So depending on this, there is a lot many cooperatives. Okay. You guys need break? Okay, take break for 10 minutes. Take heading evolution of money. Evolution of money. Hello, hello. Draw a diagram like 6 boxes. How money evolved. Okay, this is the procedure of how money evolved. Like human evolution ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಮಂಗನಿಂದ ಮಾನವ, ಅದೇ ಥರ ಹೀಗೆ ಮನಿ ಎವಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಯ್ತು ಅಂತ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್, ಥರ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್, ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್, ಫಿಫ್ತ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್, ಥರ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್, fourth stage, fifth stage, and this is final stage now. Okay, this is money evolution, how money evolved from first stage to sixth stage. In the first stage, barter system. Barter system. Second stage, commodity as an exchange. Commodity exchange. Next, third stage, metal money started. Metal money in the form of coins and all. Next, paper currency. Paper currency. You note noduತ್ತಿವಲ್ವಾ ಅದೇ ತರ. Next, fifth, bank money like demand draft or check started. Next, sixth, digital currency. What is digital currency today? Phone Pay, Google Pay, these are all digital currency. Payment through PP, GP. Barter system in the start ಮಾಡಿ ಇವಾಗ digital currency ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ನಾವು ಅಲ್ವಾ. This is the evolution of money. Commodity as I see, we started with our transaction or exchange of things with the barter system. Then we moved to commodity as an exchange, and after that we went for metal money, after that paper currency, then bank money, digital currency. And there is a reason for its shift. Like if everything went normal, everything went like in a normal mode, there is no need to shift to some other ways. Something we face the problem in our transaction, so we search for the different kinds of transaction, and today we are at the digital currency. Okay, so what happened during barter system? First of all, what is barter system? Instead of something middle thing, we exchange the needs, we exchange the commodities which is needed. See, I am a consider a grower of paddy, I want wheat. I just exchange my wheat or my paddy to someone is growing wheat. Like ಹೀಗೆ ಬಾರ್ಟರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಅಂದರೆ ನನಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದನ್ನ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ. Like this person to this person. These two persons, he exchanges this commodity, he exchanges this commodity. This is a barter system. So what is the disadvantages of this system? Why we went for searching for some other system? What happened during barter system? ಏನಾಯ್ತು? See, what is the first thing you need for the proper barter system? There should be coincidence of needs. Okay, this coincidence of needs may not be normal for all of the cases. So there is a mismatch in this coincidence of the needs that was started. Like ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಇವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಇರೋ ಐಟಮ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಬೇಡ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಇವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಇರೋ ಐಟಮ್ ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಮಿಸ್ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಕೋಇನ್ಸಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ನೀಡ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಮಿಸ್ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. This is the first disadvantages of this barter system. Coincidence of, mismatch of the coincidence of need. Or you can say double coincidence of wants. Double coincidence of wants. Sometimes another disadvantage is the cost of transaction. Cost of transaction. ಮೊದಲು ಕಮಾಡಿಟಿ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್, ಕಮಾಡಿಟಿ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಿತ್ತಲ್ವ. ಲೈಕ್ ನನಗೆ ಒಂದು ಯುಟೆನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಬೇಕು, ಮಡಿಕೆ ಬೇಕು, ಐ ನೀಡ್ ಒನ್ ಪಾಟ್. ಬಟ್ ನಾನು ಏನು ಕೊಡೋದು, ಭತ್ತ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಮಡಿಕೆ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಭತ್ತ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಬೇಕು ನನಗೆ. ಸೊ ಎಷ್ಟು ಭತ್ತ ತೊಗೊಂಡೋಗ್ಬೇಕು? ಭತ್ತ ಬುಲಕ್ ಕಾಟನ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ನಾನು, ಅಷ್ಟು ಭತ್ತ 1 ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಗೋಲ್ಡಿಗೆ. ಸೊ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಆ್ಯಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Okay, so again that is a negative effect, disadvantage, cost of transaction. And sometimes my commodity is a perishable good, like vegetable, like fruit. It may spoil because of time, right? So shortage of perishable commodities. These are all. Sometimes this coincidence of needs, I waste time for searching this coincidence. ಯಾರಿಗಿದ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹುಡುಕೋದ್ರಲ್ಲೇ ಟೈಮ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. These are the disadvantages. So we are not able to maintain the same kind of exchange. So we shifted towards the commodity as an exchange. What is the initial commodities we exchanged in the form of money? ಏನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್? ನೋ, ಲೈಕ್ ಕಮಾಡಿಟಿ ಆಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್. ಕಮಾಡಿಟಿ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿ Tendo leaves, exactly. Tendo is what is tendo? ನೀವು ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಏನು ಬೀಡಿ ಕಟ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದ್ರದ್ದೊಂದು ಎಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೀಡಿ ಕಟ್ತಾರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ದಟ್ ಲೀಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಟೆಂಡು ಲೀಫ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ. TNDU, ಟೆಂಡು ಲೀಫ್. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎ ಮೈನರ್ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ನೀಲಗಿರಿ ಹಿಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟೋಡಾ ಟ್ರೈಬ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. ನೀಲಗಿರಿ ಹಿಲ್ಸ್ ತಮಿಳ್ನಾಡು, ಟೋಡಾ ಟ್ರೈಬ್ಸ್, ದೇರ್ ಮೇನ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಇದು ಟೆಂಡು ಲೀಫ್. ಅವರಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಕಾಡಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇದನ್ನ ತಗೊಬಂದು ಈ ಬೀಡಿ ಮರ್ಚೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವರು ಇಲ್ಲ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಟೆಂಡು ಲೀಫ್ ಈ ಎಲೆ ಇದೆಯಲ್ವಾ, ಇದನ್ನ ಕಮಾಡಿಟಿಯಾಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಸಿಕ್ತು ಟೆಂಡು ಲೀಫ್ಗೆ. ದೆನ್ ಅನದರ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್, ಟೊಬ್ಯಾಕೋ ಲೀಫ್, ಟೊಬ್ಯಾಕೋ ಲೀಫ್ಸ್, ಸಮಟೈಮ್ ಕೊಕೋವಾ ಬೀನ್ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ವ, ಅದನ್ನ ಕಮಾಡಿಟಿಯಾಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಅಂಡ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್, ಕೆಲವು ಪ್ಲೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು, ಕೆಲವು ಪ್ಲೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ವೇಲ್ ಟೀತ್, ಈ ಸಮುದ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ವೇಲ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತಲ್ವ, ನೀಲಿ ತಿಮಿಂಗಿಲ, ಅದ್ರದ್ದು ಟೀತ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಮಾಡಿಟೀಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. 1 or 2 ಕೋಸ್ಟಲ್ ರೀಜನ್. ಓಕೆ, ವೇಲ್ ಟೀತ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಬಿಯರ್ ಪೆಲ್ಟ್ಸ್. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪೆಲ್ಟ್ಸ್? ಸ್ಕಿನ್, ಯಾವ್ದ್ರದ್ದು? ಕರಡಿ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬಿಯರ್ ಪೆಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ, ಪೆಲ್ಲೆಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಪೆಲ್ಲೆಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಕಿನ್, ಬಿಯರ್ ಪೆಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಕರಡಿದು ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಅನ್ನ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಕಮಾಡಿಟಿ. ಕರಡಿ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಹಿ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಪುವರ್. ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕರಡಿ ಇದೆ, ಐ ಮೀನ್ 1 or ನಿಯರ್ ಟು ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್, ದೇ ಆರ್ ರಿಚ್, ಆ ಥರ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ ವೇ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜಿಂಗ್. ಓಕೆ, 1 or there near to tend to leaf means he is rich. 1 or near to coastal means because of the teeth of the whale he is also rich. So this is not a proper way. There is lot many disadvantages. What are the disadvantages of this kind of there is no uniformity, first of all. Why there is no uniformity? One of there in the Toda community, means one of there is in Nilgiri, he will get easily 10 tulips, means he is rich. And one of there near to the beer is very rich. So there is no uniformity at all. And sometimes inflation 10 tulips ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕಾದರೂ. ಸೊ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಸ್ಟೆಬಿಲೈಸ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೇಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. These are all negative effects. Sometimes perishable, ಹಾಳಾಗೋಗುತ್ತೆ 10 tulips, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಡೋಕೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ. These are all the things. Next we went for metal money. Metal money means fiat money. Fiat means what? Something we get license from the authorized government. Like ಇದು ಯಾವಾಗ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಮನಿ? ಈ ಏನ್ಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಕಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾರಲ್ವ, ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಡೈನಸ್ಟೀಸ್, ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ವ, ಅವಾಗ ದೇ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಕಾಯಿನ್ಸ್, ದೇ ಯೂಸ್ಡ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಮನಿ. Means there is a stabilized government, right? There is a stable government above, means legally authorized money by that king. Fiat money anta ಕರೀತೀವಿ, FIAT, fiat money. Fiat money means money issued by a legally binding or order of the government or a king. See, ಇವಾಗ ಯಾರು ಕಾಯಿನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡೋದು ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಯಿನ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡೋದು ಗವರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ RBI. ಗವರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್ 1 rupee note, government 1 rupee note and all the coins are issued by the government. Rest of the paper currencies, whatever may be by the RBI. But 1 rupee note plus rest of the coins by finance secretary, means government. Not state government. No. Government of India. State ಗೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಕರೆನ್ಸಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ. ಯೂನಿಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಕರೆನ್ಸಿ. ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಗವರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನು ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್. ಸೊ ಮೋರ್ ದೆನ್ 1 rupee note issued by the RBI. But 1 rupee note plus coins issued by government, that to finance secretary. Okay, it is illegal. ಯಾರು ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ you can give complaint also. It is legal. 1 rupee note ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು? ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಕಾಯಿನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಲೈಕ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲಾದರೂ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಫೈನ್ ಹಾಕ್ತು, 1000 rupees ಫೈನ್ ಹಾಕ್ತು ಅಂತ ಮಾಡಿ, till 1000 rupees you can pay your fine through coins, means 999 coins. More than 1000 you are not able to pay through coins, only paper currency le pay ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ನೀವು, ಕಾಯಿನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನ? ಇನ್ ಕಾಯಿನೇಜ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ 2011 ಅದನ್ನು ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಏನಂತ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ? up to 1000 rupees, up to 1000 means not above 1000, up to 1000 you can pay through coins. It is mentioned in Coinage Act 2011. And RBI issue remaining currencies ಅದರಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ಲೈಕ್ RBI ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಲ್ವ ಕರೆನ್ಸಿನ, ಅದನ್ನು RBI Act 1934 ಅಲ್ಲಿದೆ. RBI Act 1934 or 5 ಆರೆಂಜ್. RBI Act 1934, RBI issue remaining currencies. And government issue all currency and government issue all coins and 1 rupee note. It is mentioned in Coinage Act 2011 only. You know this cash transaction above 2 lakhs is not able to do through cash, hard cash. It's only through bank cash like DD and check. It is mentioned in Finance Act 2017. Finance Act 2017. The cash transaction about 2 lakh rupees should be done with the help of the bank money. Finance Act 2017. Cash transaction about 2 lakhs should be done with the bank money like DD or check, not through hard cash. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 2 ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಮನೇಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೋಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲೀಗಲ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ಓಕೆ, ಅದು ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಂತೂ ತುಂಬ ಹುಷಾರಿರ್ಬೇಕು. Okay, this is all about metal money. Then what happened? Paper money comes into picture. Paper money is also same thing. Like if there is a proper government and government should approve that money as a no. For that paper there is no value, right? That is just a paper, piece of paper. That paper gets value after legal tender, which is given by the existing king or existing government. A legally authorized ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಬರೋದು. ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಫೇಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಪೇಪರ್, ರೈಟ್? ಅಥವಾ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಏನೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಪೇಪರಿಗೆ ಏನು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇದೆ? ಅದನ್ನು ಫಿಯಾಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಫೇಕ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕೊಡೋದು ಯಾರು? ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಲೀಗಲ್ ಗವರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್. ದೆನ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಮನಿ ನಾವು ವಿ ವೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಮನಿ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ದೆನ್ 2 lakh ವಿ ನಾಟ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ವಿತ್ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಫಿನಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ 2017. ಸೊ ವಿ ವೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಮನಿ ಅಂಡ್ DD and check, demand draft. Okay, and in the paper money after demonetization ನಾವು ತುಂಬಾ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಲ್ವಾ? ಲೈಕ್ ಯುನೆಸ್ಕೋ ಸೈಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕಿದೀವಿ ಪೇಪರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಕರೆನ್ಸಿ ಯುನೆಸ್ಕೋ ಸೈಟ್ಸ್. 50 rupees ಅಲ್ಲಿ 10 rupees ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಬೇಡ, 5 rupees ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ? ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಇದೆ, ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಇನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್. ನೋಡಿದ್ರ 5 rupees ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಕಲರ್? ನೋಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ. 10 rupees ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊನಾರ್ಕ್ ಸಂಡೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ಲ. 5 rupees ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್, 10 rupees. ಒಂದೊಂದು ಮಾತು ನುಡಿ ಮುತ್ತುಗಳು ಬಾಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇ ಬಂದ್ರು ಬರ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ನೀವು. ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ 5 rupees, 10 rupees ಕೊನಾರ್ಕ್ ಸನ್ ಟೆಂಪಲ್. ಸಿ ಆಲ್ ಆರ್ ಯುನೆಸ್ಕೋ ಸೈಟ್ಸ್, ನಾಟ್ ದ ಟ್ರ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್. ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಯುನೆಸ್ಕೋ ಸೈಟ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಯುನೆಸ್ಕೋ ಸೈಟ್ಸ್ ಏನೋ ದಿಸ್ ಕಲ್ಚರಲ್ ಹೆರಿಟೇಜ್ ಸೈಟ್ಸ್, ರಿಚ್ ಸೈಟ್ಸ್. 10 rupees ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊನಾರ್ಕ್ ಸನ್ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಇದೆ. 20 rupees ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲೋರಾ ಕೇವ್ಸ್. ಎಲ್ಲಿರೋದು? ಮಹಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ, ಔರಂಗಾಬಾದ್. ಎಲ್ಲೋರಾ ಕೇವ್ಸ್ 20 rupees. ದೆನ್ ಕೊನಾರ್ಕ್ ಸನ್ ಟೆಂಪಲ್, ಕೊನಾರ್ಕ್ ಸನ್ ಟೆಂಪಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ? ವೇರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್? ಒರಿಸ್ಸಾ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 20 rupees ಎಲ್ಲೋರಾ ಕೇವ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ? ಮಹಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ. ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಯಾವ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅದು? ಔರಂಗಾಬಾದ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 30 rupees ಇಲ್ಲ, 40 ಇಲ್ಲ, 50 rupees ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ, ಹಂಪಿ. ಏನಿದೆ? ಚಾರಿಯಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ಚಾರಿಯಟ್. ದೆನ್ 100 rupees ರಾಣಿ ಕಿ ಬಾವಿ. 100 rupees ರಾಣಿ ಕಿ ವಾವ್ ಅಥವಾ ರಾಣಿ ಕಿ ಬಾವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ನೋಡಿದ್ರ? ರಾಣಿ ಕಿ ವಾವ್. BAV. ದೆನ್ 200 rupees ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ? 200 rupees ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ? ಸಾಂಚಿ ಸ್ತೂಪ, ಮಧ್ಯಪ್ರದೇಶ್. ಸಾಂಚಿ ಸ್ತೂಪ, ಮಧ್ಯಪ್ರದೇಶ್. ದೆನ್ 500 rupees ರೆಡ್ ಫೋರ್ಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ? ದೆನ್ 1000 ಇದೆಯಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ. ದೆನ್ 2000 ಮಂಗಲ್ ಆನ್, ನಮ್ದು ಮಂಗಲ್ ಎಂದು ಮಂಗಲ್ ಮಿಷನ್, ಮಿಷನ್ ಮಂಗಲ್ ಮೂವಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರು? ಮಂಗಲ್ ಆನ್ ಸ್ಯಾಟಲೈಟ್ ಚಿತ್ರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಏನೋ ಹೀಗೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಪಿಂಕ್ ಕಲರ್, ಈಸಿ ಟು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 1000 take 2000 ಮಾಡಿ, ವೆರಿ ಈಸಿ. ಸೊ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಡೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಚಿಪ್ ಇದೆ, ಹಾಗಿದೆ, ಹೀಗಿದೆ, ಏನೂ ಚಿಪ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಆಯ್ತಾ. ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಯಾಟಲೈಟ್. ಆ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಅದು ಲೈಕ್ QR ಕೋಡ್ ಇರಲ್ವಾ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಾಂಪ್ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್, ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿಟ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಯಾಟಲೈಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಸ್ಯಾಟಲೈಟ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅವರ್ ಕರೆನ್ಸಿ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ವೆರಿ ಸ್ಯಾಟಲೈಟ್. ಆ ಸ್ಯಾಟಲೈಟ್ ಏನೋ ಫೋಟೋಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕಿರೋಕೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಸುಮಾರು ಜನ ಏನು ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು ಮೇ ಬಿ ಸ್ಯಾಟಲೈಟ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮಂಗಲ್ಯಾನ್ ಫೋಟೋ, ನಾಟ್ ಸ್ಯಾಟಲೈಟ್ ಫೋಟೋ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್. ಓಕೆ, 2000 ಇವಾಗಲ್ಲ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಚಾಲ್ತಿ ಲೀಗಲ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಪ್ರಿಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ನೋಟ್ಗಳು ಅದು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಆಗಿರೋ ನೋಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಅವ್ರು ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೀಗಲಿ ಫಿನಾನ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಟ್ 2017 ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರು ವಾಪಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳೇಬೇಕು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿರೋದನ್ನು ಅವರು ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಾಯ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಈವನ್ ಫೇಕ್ ಕರೆನ್ಸಿ ಸಿಗೋದು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಅವರು ಅದನ್ನು ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಾಯ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇರ್ ಇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಥ್ರೋ ಇಟ್, ಅದನ್ನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಾಯ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಂ, ಇವಾಗ ರೇರ್ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಂ, ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮುಗಿದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಿಗತ್ತೆ. ಇವಾಗ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ತಾನೆ 2000 ನೋಟು. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ 2024 ಎಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ ನೋಡಿ, 2025 ಇಂದ ನೋಡಿ ಸಿಗದೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಹಾಗೆ. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಮನಿ, ಡಿಡಿ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೀಗಲ್ ಟೆಂಡರ್ ವಿತ್ ದಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಅಂಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್, if the bank receives checks, if the bank receives DD, it should give money when we submit our DD or when we submit our checks to that bank, right? So it is a legal tender by that bank. ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಕೌಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ದುಡ್ಡು ಇರಬೇಕು, ಚೆಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ದಷ್ಟು ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ, ಅಕೌಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡು ಇದ್ರೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಮನಿ. ಓಕೆ, ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್. ಇವಾಗ ಏನಿದೆ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಮನಿ, ಇನ್ನು ವೆರಿ ಈಸಿ. Like transaction through online, through mobile only. ಯಾವುದಲ್ಲ, ಫೋನ್ ಪೇ, ಗೂಗಲ್ ಪೇ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಪೇಟಿಎಂ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡೋಣ ಅಗೇನ್ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಆಗಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಟೇಕ್ ಕೋರ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಹೆಡಿಂಗ್, CBS. Core banking solution. It is a banking software. Core banking solution. Core banking solution. It is a banking software where the web platform for centralized data management. It is a web platform. It is a banking software where, or with web platform. WEB, web platform. It is a banking solution or banking software, you can say banking software with web platform for centralized data management. Okay, consider there is a Canara Bank. ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್, ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್ ಇದೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇವ್ರದ್ದು ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಸೆಟಪ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಚಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲೊಬ್ರು ಯಾರೋ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲೊಬ್ರು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರದು ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಕೋರ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಅಂತ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಆನ್ಲೈನಲ್ಲಿ ವೆಬ್ ಪೋರ್ಟಲಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರದು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಚ್, ಐ ಮೀನ್ ದ ಕೋರ್ ಬ್ರಾಂಚಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್. ಇವ್ರು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದವರು ಹಾಗೆ ಈ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಲೋನ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಡಾಟಾ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ದೇ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ದಿ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಡಾಟಾ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ಇದರ ಮುಂದೆ ತುಂಬ ಬಿಲ್ಡಪ್ ಆಗೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇದು ಇನಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಡಾಟಾ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ within the bank, in between the two bank branches. The data within the bank, see, same Canara Bank. This is all bank branches, the same Canara Bank. So, centralized data management, this is the different branches of the same bank. This is for different branches of the same bank. CBS. And there is different name for different kinds of transaction. This is for the within bank. Okay. Next take heading as a RTGS and NEFT. You know this RTGS and NEFT? Otherwise don't take heading like adane kariyana. See, there is a Canara Bank here. Canara Bank. And I want to send some money to Karnataka Bank from Canara Bank. Central banking solution in the Kalsakagala, because entire bank itself is a different bank. There is no, not a single bank and between the branches. It is not the case. This is the bank itself is a different bank. So how you can send money? There is two routes to send money. One is NEFT. Another one is RTGS. What is the difference? What is the full form of NEFT? What is NEFT? National Electronic Fund Transfer. National Electronic Fund Transfer. And RTGS, Real Time Gross Settlement. Real Time Gross Settlement, National Electronic Fund Transfer. See, National Electronic Fund Transfer, using this you can send up to 2 lakhs rupees. So the transaction which is more than 2 lakhs, you should move through RTGS. RTGS ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಗೆ ಹೋದ ತಕ್ಷಣ 2 ಲಕ್ಷಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ 2 ಲಕ್ಷ ಒಳಗಿದ್ರೆ ನೆಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. This is for different bank branches. Similar bank branches means there is no RTGS, there is no need of NEFT. ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರನೇ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಡಾಟಾ ಬೇಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ತೆಗೆದು ಆ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಗೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಹೇಗೆ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ CBS ಇಂದ. If it is in between the two bank means then the concept of NEFT and RTGS will comes into picture. If between two bank branches in a similar bank means CBS, Central or Core Banking Solutions, Central Bank Solutions. Okay. NEFT and RTGS for two banks. NEFT is for within 2 lakhs, RTGS for more cashes, more than 2 lakhs. Okay. Now my question is, I am transferring fund from Canara Bank to Canara Bank only, but this is Canara Bank of India, this is Canara Bank of USA. Now consider there is a Canara Bank in USA. Now what is the process? SWIFT comes into picture. SWIFT. What is this SWIFT? Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. ಇದನ್ನ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷ. What is the full form of SWIFT? And everybody went for Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Transaction. That is the first option. Okay, financial transaction, that is the first option. But it is not transaction, it is telecommunication. Okay, underline that. Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication. This is not transaction. Okay, SWIFT ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಆಯ್ತು. Consider here it is a Canara Bank, India. Here it is some other bank like Axis Bank. It's in USA. Now what is the route? Again SWIFT only. IM? What is that? SWIFT only. You can do SWIFT for different bank branches. SWIFT is only for the cross border, not for within India. And you know this is more faster than our RTGS. RTGS within India. Okay. Swift is, that's why the car name Swift, speed. Okay. Maybe they become motivated because of this Swift. Okay, so core banking solutions or central banking solution, RTGS and NEFT used within India, only within India. CBS, RTGS, NEFT only within India. SWIFT means cross border or in between two countries. Okay, take heading IMPS, Immediate Payment System, right? It was started in 2010. Immediate Payment System, IMPS, Immediate Payment System, 2010, Immediate Payment System. See, it is used, this is a transaction 24/7 transaction through mobile, immediate payment system. It is used for 24/7 transaction via mobile or internet money. Money can transfer through internet at any point, anywhere. But there is a cap for the maximum transaction, right? Highest maybe up to 1 or 2 lakh. But depending on the bank, maybe bank restrict your account for, if it is a saving account means they may restrict for 5,000 only. If it is a current account means they may extend your transaction up to 2 lakh. Okay, that will depends. So maximum 1 to 2 lakh. There is a cap for this kind of transaction using internet. See, to do RTGS and NEFT, what you need? RTGS ಮತ್ತೆ ನೆಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಲ್ವಾ, ಲೈಕ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ RTGS ಅಥವಾ ನೆಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? IFSC ಕೋಡ್ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಟು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್, and there is no IFSC code for particular bank account. IFSC code for the bank. Okay, so they just want to know the IFSC code of that particular bank branch to send money. RTGS ಗೆ IFSC code ಬೇಕು. Okay, and ಮತ್ತೇನು ಬೇಕು? ನಿಮ್ಮದು ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ನಂಬರ್, ಅದು ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇಕು, ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಕಾಮನ್ ಸೆನ್ಸ್. Okay, next NPCI, take heading NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India. This is the base for every other payment, okay, today. NPCI. This is not for profit company, established in 2008. Not for profit company, established in 2008. It is an umbrella for all the organization of the retail payment system in India. It is an umbrella organization, National Payment Corporation of India. See, what is this? What it will do? National Payment Corporation of India, something, it is not like a bank, alva? Something dispute resolution mechanism tara ide. And it acts, or the activity of this corporation is also same. Like, ನನಗೆ ಯಾರಿಗೋ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ನಾ ಆನ್ಲೈನಲ್ಲಿ 1 lakh ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ, ಬಟ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ರಿಸೀವ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನನ್ನ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂದ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕಟ್ ಆಯಿತು, ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು, ಬಟ್ ಅವ್ರ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಗೆ ರಿಸೀವ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರ ಅಕೌಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳಬೇಕು ನಾನು? ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಈ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಂತಾರೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂದ ಹೋಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು? NPCIಗೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು, ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ಓಕೆ, so it's an umbrella organization. Umbrella means like overview, nutshell. Okay, and they provide like various services. First one is RuPay card. This is an umbrella organization for so many services which is providing within India. First one is RuPay card. Notice that RuPay card. RuPay card. It is a domestic card developed by NPCI, means Indian made. Okay, developed by National Payment Corporation of India. It is accepted at all ATMs. all ATMs and points of sale machines. What is point of sale machine? ನಾವು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಲ್ವ ಅಂಗಡಿಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಮಾಲಿಗೆ, ಅಲ್ಲೊಂದು ನಮ್ಮದು ATM ಕಾರ್ಡನ್ನು ಸ್ವೈಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರಲ್ವ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಷಿನ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ರೂಪೇ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಕ್ಸೆಪ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ಆಲ್ ATMs. Point of sale machine. Point of sale machine. And most of the online merchants in the country, it is accepted by most of the online. Like you book my show, you can book your show through RuPay card. Okay, online merchants. Next, take heading BHIM app. What is the full form of BHIM? Bharat Interface for Money. Bharat Interface for Money. It is a mobile app developed by, who developed this? Same, National Payment Corporation of India, NPCI. Based on UPI. This is very important. Unified Payment Interface. Based on UPI. Means Unified Payment Interface. This is the game changer. UPI. Unified Payment Interfaces. Okay. This Bharat app supports all kind of Indian banks which uses UPI. See, what is this UPI? Unified Payment Interface means what? ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಫೋನ್ ಪೇ ಅಥವಾ ಗೂಗಲ್ ಪೇ ಅಥವಾ ಭೀಮ್ ಆ್ಯಪ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು UPI ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ದು ಅಷ್ಟು ಜಾತಕ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಫುಲ್ ಫಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಇದು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಯಾವುದೆಲ್ಲ UPI ಆಥರೈಸ್ಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್, ಆ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಫೋನ್ ಪೇ ಮತ್ತು ಗೂಗಲ್ ಪೇ ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ UPI ಇಸ್ ದ ಲೈಕ್ ಎ ಮೀಡಿಯೇಟರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಅದರ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಲೈಕ್ ಭೀಮ್ ಆ್ಯಪನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅದು UPI ಆಥರೈಸ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಕೌಂಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಹಾಗೆ. And it is based on NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India development on UPI, BHIM app. So BHIM app supports all Indian banks which uses UPI. Okay, because UPI ne barkoli side heading, what is that? And very important. UPI, Unified Payment Interface. It is a technology for building digital payment app. It is a technology for building digital payment app for sending or receiving money. For sending or receiving money. See, money can be followed on the following methods. Money can be transferred via following methods. What are the methods? ಹೇಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕಳಿಸಬಹುದು using UPI? But money can be transferred using following methods. See, UPI ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ತರ ಮನಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಅಂತ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, UPI ಕೋಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದಾ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, UPI ಕೋಡ್. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿಸ್? VPA means virtual payment address code. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಿರ್ತೀರ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು VPA ಕೋಡ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೋದು. ವರ್ಚುವಲ್ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಕೋಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಆರ್ ವರ್ಚುವಲ್ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಅಂತ. ಓಕೆ, ದೆನ್ ಅನದರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಮತ್ತೆ IFSC ನಂಬರ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಥಿಂಗ್, ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಅಂಡ್ IFSC ಕೋಡ್. ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಅಂಡ್ IFSC ಕೋಡ್. ಥರ್ಡ್, ಲೈಕ್ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು QR ಕೋಡ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೋದು. QR ಕೋಡ್. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ QR? ಕ್ವಿಕ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಇನ್ನು ಈಸಿ ಹೇಗೆ? ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಇದೆ, ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ UPI ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಇದೆ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೋದು. ನಮ್ದು ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ಲೇ ಆಗತ್ತಲ್ವಾ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಆಧಾರ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೋದು, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಬೈ ಆಧಾರ್, ಬಟ್ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಗೆ. March 31st ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಡೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಆಧಾರ್ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಪಾನ್ ಕಾರ್ಡಿಗೆ. 50,000ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಇರಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಪಾನ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ ಇವಾಗ? ಹಾಂ. ಬಟ್ ಪಾನ್ ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಅವರ್ ಆಧಾರ್ ಬಿಲ್, ನಾಟ್ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ. ಬಟ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಔಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಯುವರ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಆಧಾರ್. ಓಕೆ. Okay, these are the different methods you can follow for transaction. Next, Bharat Bill Payment System. This is another kind of NPCI service. Bharat Bill Payment System. Bharat Bill Payment System. See, what is this? This is a kind of EMI ಕಟ್ತೀವಲ್ವ ನಾವು, ಅದನ್ನು ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡೋದು. It is a monthly. It is a automated monthly payment of utility bills. Bharat Bill Payment System for automated monthly payment of utility bills. ಭಾರತ್ ಬಿಲ್ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ನಾವು? ಲೈಕ್ ನಮಗೆ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಬಿಲ್ ಮಂತ್ಲಿ ಕಟ್ಟಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ರಿಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬಿಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬೇರೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಬಿಲ್, ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಂತ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಆಟೋಮೆಟೆಡ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡ್ಬೋದು. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ನಮಗೆ ಹೆಡೇಕ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು ಅಂತ, ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಟ್ಟಾಕ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ನಾವು ಪೇಡ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಭಾರತ್ ಬಿಲ್ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಡಿಬಿಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಎಸ್ ಎಸ್ ದೆನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ವೇರ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗೋ? If you want, you can link to neighbor's account also. If they give their bank account details. Next, NFS means National Financial Switch. It's a network of ATMs in India. National Financial Switch. National Financial Switch. This ಮೊದಲು ATM ಬಂದಾಗ ಆ ATM ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ATM ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಬೇರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ATM ಕಾರ್ಡ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಫಿನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ವಿಚ್ ಇದು ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ, NFS ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕಟ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ದುಡ್ಡು ಕಟ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. 1, 2 or 3 ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಮಂತ್ಲಿ, ಡಿಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ದಿ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಫ್ ATMs ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಟೋಲ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್. ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ವಾ, ಕಾರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಿರಲ್ಲ ಫ್ರಂಟ್ ಮಿರರ್ ಹತ್ರ, ರೇಡ್ ಮಿರರ್ ಹತ್ರ, ಅದೇ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಗ್. ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನಿಕ್ ಟೋಲ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್, NETC, National Electronic Toll Collection. National Electronic Toll Collection. FASTag is a device, FASTAG. FASTag is a device that employs, this is very important, that employs radio frequency identification. ಏನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಮ್ಯಾಗ್ನೆಟಿಕ್ ವೇವ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನೋ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎ ರೇಡಿಯೋ ವೇವ್ಸ್. ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗೋದು ರೇಡಿಯೋ ವೇವ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅಂಡರ್ಲೈನ್ that employs radio frequency identification, underline radio frequency identification technology for making toll payments. Identification technology, radio frequency identification technology for making toll payments directly. Radio frequency identification technology for making toll payments directly while vehicle is in motion. So like ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ ವಿಂಡ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಮಿರರ್, ಅದರ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದ ರೀಸನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್, ಲೈಕ್ ನಮ್ಗಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಹೊತ್ತು ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಟೈಮ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪೆಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಾಯಿತ್ತು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏರ್ ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆ ರೀಜನಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಹೊತ್ತು ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರಿಂದ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ರೀಸನ್ ಇಂದ ತಿಂದ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಜಿಟಲ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ದಿ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇದರ ಒಂದು ರೀಸನ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಚೆಕ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, CHECK, ಚೆಕ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನ್ಯೂ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ಚೆಕ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. ಎಸ್, ಚೆಕ್, ಐ ಮೀನ್ QUE, ಚೆಕ್, ನಾಟ್ CHEC. ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಅದನ್ನೇ ಬೇರೆ ಅಂತಲ್ವ, ಡೋಂಟ್ ರೈಟ್ ದಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೆ ನಾನು. ಚೆಕ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ that aims at providing interbank high volume and low value transaction. high volume and low value transaction that are repetitive and periodic in nature. That are repetitive, high value and low volume. Sorry. A centralized clearing system that aims at providing interbank high volume, low value transaction. What is this high volume and low value? ಏನಿದು? ಈ ರಿಟೇಲ್ ಶಾಪ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ರಿಟೇಲ್ ಶಾಪ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್, ಲೈಕ್ ಸಿಗರೇಟ್ ಶಾಪ್, ಏನು ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ಬಂದು ಸಿಗರೇಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಥೌಸಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರುಪೀಸ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗಿರಲ್ಲ. 50 rupees, 30 rupees, 20 rupees ಡಿಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ದಿ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಹೈಯೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 75 rupees, ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ. 100 rupees ಒಳಗೆ. ಸೊ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕಮ್ಮಿ, ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕೂಡಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದಿನಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದು 4000 5000 ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ, ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ಬಂದು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಥರ ಹೈ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಬಟ್ ಲೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ transaction that are repetitive and periodic in nature. Take heading as a types of card. There are two kinds of cards. One is magnetic and another one is EVM chip card. Types of cards. Then I will not know automatic. Okay, take heading types of cards. Types of cards.